Hi, folks. Welcome back to Money in Politics. It is Thursday, August the 19th, and we are back briefly today because, like yesterday, I have to go down to an event. Actually, I want to go down to an event. I'm going to talk just briefly about that. Right now, the Illinois State Fair is going on, and you have Republican Day and Democrat Day. Yesterday was Democrat Day. They call it Governor's Day. Whichever party has control of the governorship, that's Governor's Day, and then the following day, the opposition party has their gathering at the State Fair. In all the years past, I went down to cover the speeches. I didn't this week, I didn't this week for the first time, for a variety of reasons, and one of the big ones is it's not an election year. There were bigger stories, bigger fish to fry, better use of my time. But one of the things I do want to do is go down because the different parties have gatherings at bars and you can go out and see people. And yesterday, as an example, I went down to the State Fair, one of the tents, and here I am with Kwame Raoul. Now, Kwame and I have known each other for years, for a long time. In fact, it was 2005, I think. Maybe the end of 2004, so 17 years ago, he was appointed to the Illinois Senate to replace someone you may have heard of. He replaced Barack Obama as Barack Obama was elected to the U.S. Senate, and that created a vacancy, and Kwame Raoul replaced Barack Obama in the Illinois State Senate. So he's got his little place in history on that alone, but he, 3 years ago, was elected to be the Attorney General of Illinois. And one of the reasons I'm sharing that is just because I want to explain, that when I talk about things, and this is number one, why I call it money in politics. My career has involved both the running of businesses and covering politics. And I want you to understand a little bit about my past, about what I'm doing on the other side of the aisle here where I'm covering politics. I'm sure Kwame Raoul doesn't agree with everything I think, and I don't agree with everything he thinks. But this is the nature of politics, at least the way it should be practiced, is that you have friendships. You can trust each other. You talk about things. Whether I am in government or not, I mean, if I was a senator and Kwame was a senator, we would fight each other politically on certain things, and we would work together on certain things. That's the nature of business. You're going to do certain deals, and that's the nature of politics. I just want you to know, one, why am I going to go out the door? Two, it's especially important to me this year because of the COVID shutdown. Some people that I've known for years, like Attorney General Raoul, I haven't had the opportunity to see in person and talk to them for about a year and a half, or in some cases 2 years. So it's fun to catch up with people. But from your standpoint, the other thing is that I want you to know that what I bring to the table, my analysis, it's not just that, I'm looking at numbers and earnings and different things. It's my experience as an investor. It's also my experience covering politics, both at the federal level and at the state level. And that all gives me, I would argue, a sensibility about how some things work. And as we just had with the infrastructure bill in the U.S. Senate, I used to cover the U.S. Senate in Washington. The money, if that goes through, the money that would flow to certain segments of the economy, while that's passed politically, then comes over into our discussion of what to invest in and what businesses in the green space or the transportation or road building might benefit from those dollars. So that's what I bring to the table. Now, very briefly, because I'm going to try to go fast through this, we went down today on Humble, and I know it seems like every day we've been going down, and we can certainly see this is a 1 month chart. It's not been pretty on the 6 month chart. I think if you believe in Humble, as I've said so many times, you're looking at what's coming, and we've already talked, I won't repeat everything, that we're looking at the monies that can be made in the future as they continue to build the revenues they've had thus far, just the beginning, the embryonic stage of having revenue growth come. Now, I talked the other day about one of my very favorite stocks and has been for a long time, and that is InMode. Again, the symbol on that is INMD. And this is, as I say, kind of a vanity play. Your draw line is dropping. They can tighten it up. They can sculpture some of your figure. And this today went up, as you see. At one point, it was up even higher. It was up to about $117, closed at $115. So up another $4 today. We can see the 5-day chart, how it has gone up. The 1-month chart, some choppiness, and the 6-month chart. And if we go to 1 year, or actually that's year to date, you can see up, up, up. Here's the 1 year. I think if they had a 2-year, I'd show up, but they're not giving us the 2-year click. As a reminder, because let me take myself out of here, someone wrote me today and said, what was that company you were saying that was beating earnings? And I responded in email, and you can see here on the right, the earnings, all these greens, beating returns, beating the averages. I covered this not too long ago, but in case you missed it. And again, just briefly, in 2017, their revenue was $53 million in 2017 with earnings of $8 million. Last year, 2020, revenues of 206 million. But look at these revenues, earnings. Look at the earnings relative to revenues. That's why I want you to know $75 million in earnings on just $206 million in revenue. That is a phenomenal profitability margin. 104 would be 50%. They're at 75. You get many businesses where they're making a profit of 2%, 5%, whatever. So InMode is really doing a great job growing the business, doing a great job controlling costs to have high profitability. I really can't stress that one enough. Like I say, I don't say for nothing that it is one of my favorite stocks ever. And so InMode, I know it's I know it's high price spread, $115, but in this day and age when there's no commission to buy, if you can't afford more than one share, then buy one share. You're going to grow your money one way or the other. Now, speaking of cryptocurrencies and blockchain, our friend, part of our humble nation, who goes by the Twitter handle Decency, put out a video yesterday and introduced me to this fellow, Don. I forget his full name. Here it is, Don Tapscott. Don Tapscott. Now, I won't play a whole lot of this. Let me just turn on the audio. This is his TED Talk.
The greatest impact
which runs about 18
in the next
minutes.
few decades.
And the point I would say is,
it's not social media, it's not big data.
Audio rather here. I would recommend, this is on YouTube, how the blockchain is changing money and business. I highly recommend you look at this. He really walks through, and thank you, Decency, for, I know her real name, but I don't want to say it. Thank you for bringing him to my attention. But folks, a lot of time, this whole blockchain and cryptocurrency stuff can be very confusing, hard to understand what the implications are. Don Tapscott is going through the implications, what this will mean for the future. And again, I highly recommend this. So it'll really help you understand what Humble is about and what Humble is doing and why we think, we who are positive on Humble, why we think that despite the fact that its stock price has gone down, that the future for Humble is still highly promising. So that's pretty much what I wanted to pass along with you today. And again, thank you, Decency, for sharing that with me. And again, this is one of the ways that we can help each other, because I had not known of the man, and she said that he really explained things well, and I listened to the video, and he really does. So I endorse watching that. I think 18 minutes well spent if you're going to be an investor in Humble. So tonight is the Republican Days of the State Fair. Yesterday I saw my Democratic friends. Today I'm going to try to have a beer and catch up. And by the way, if you're a reporter talking to people, it's not like they're sharing. Sometimes I tell you stuff behind the scene. And actually last night I heard something quite shocking behind the scenes. But a lot of times too, you hear things about what are they being told that maybe, we don't otherwise know. So it sounds funny, but sometimes going out to receptions, talking to lawmakers, senators, congressmen, state representatives, if you're going to be a reporter, is really one of the best ways to be an informed reporter. And to that end, too, going back to Humble for a minute, remember that we have, if you can make it, the conference in Nashville. Not only will it be great to see all of you who can make it and to meet you in person, but who knows? You never know what you're going to pick up. What information that's going to be rewarding. And if nothing else comes of it, but the fact that we can have a beer together, get to know each other in person, have a bit of camaraderie built into our going through the process of looking for stocks, sharing information, as we did here with Don Tapscott, and other information. And I do appreciate you sharing that with me. As I say, it's not like I'm omnipotent and can know everything. And the challenge is often to find out what is being said. Is it a legitimate source? And then I'm happy to share it. And to the extent that I can name the source who shared it with me, I'll do that. In the meantime, folks, I'll let you go for now because I've got to run out the door. I always appreciate you watching. I also appreciate you commenting, whether on YouTube or if you want to send me a note in private, do that, and I will respond to it as best I can. If I don't know the answer, I'll just say I don't know the answer. But with that, I'll let you go. Have a wonderful night, and hopefully we'll be seeing you tomorrow. Take care.